Lord, for your speech. And small little thing is a big matter in the futures, and we are hoping that even your presence will make a big difference for our futures in Kachin States. Thank you so much. May I call upon Son Wung, President of Australia, current organizations, to bring awards to you.
Thank you, Lulu. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sidi Lazan, the President of the Kachin Association of the Australia, Mr. Laurie Ferguson, a member for the Warrior, and also convener of the Australian Parliamentarian for the Democracy in Burma, Mr. Jamie Green Party, New South Wales, also Mr. Gary Katcher, the Community Development Project Officer of the New South Wales, services for the trauma and rehabilitation of the torture and trauma survivor staff, and Mr. Joseph Rickson, also community elder, North Town Karen, and the friends of community and our fellow Kachin brothers and sisters. Tonight we are united here in support of our fellow Kachin countrymen who have suffered countless brutal military attack at the hand of the Burmese military regime. These acts of crucially have especially been on the Kachin Independent Organization based in Lysar, which has resulted in over 60,000 Kachin civilians become IDP or unfortunate war victims. As we know, since 9 June 2011, fighting broke out in the Kachin state after 17 years of the ceasefire agreement with the Burma military government. Affected are these thousands of innocent civilians who have now been forced to flee from the protection of their homes. And some of the internally displaced are more fortunate with the support of KIO. However, there are still more who are without support, even having to flee to the neighboring country where they are vulnerable and unsupported. Today, as we make known the atrocity situation of the Kachin state, we reflect upon the Kachin situation in particular that of 1995. The KNU headquarters of the Manaplo had fallen into the hands of the crucial Burmese military. As thousands of the vulnerable civilians are fled to suffer and flee from the brutal attacks, we believe that regardless of the past and the present, the cunning tactics of the Burmese military government have always been the same. Although they act as if they have engaged in positive political roles, and they have nonetheless increased their unfair military arms. Since 1992, the SLOP Burmese military government led by General Somon called for a ceasefire agreement in cooperation with the development projects. It was from there that more than 14 ethnic armed groups, including Kachins, were in the ceasefire with the military government. The KNU had also entered in a ceasefire talk with the Burmese government, but were unsuccessful because of their demands for the surrendering arms. Therefore, KNU and KMPP control area, Eastern Burma, was targeted by the Burmese military and intensifying military offenses while they ceasefire with some other ethnic groups. On the other hand, LND's landslide victory on 1990 election result was ignored, and many elected members and activists were jailed, and most political parties were deregistered. Then, 1996, Burmese military changed their name as SPDC, and led by General Tan Shui. It was since of around 1990 era. Therefore, one hand, they suppressed the NLD and the political parties, and on the other hand, ethnic armed groups were forced to ceasefire agreement, and the rest were crushed down by the military power. Again, SPDC played second round of ceasefire agreement designed by the former General Kenyon. It was also unsuccessful because of the same demand of the surrender and come back to the legal form. The military continues on their 7-step roadmaps, including their sham national election, a national convention for 14 years, and drafted 25% constituted right to the Burmese army in 2008, when it was during Nugget crisis. The first election in the past 20 years, it was on the 13 November 2010, adoption of the military-backed civilian government led by President Thein Sein. On the 18th August 2011, Thein Sein military-backed civilian government called ceasefire and peace talk to the ethnic armed groups, even Kachin, Shan, many ethnic major groups who broke out ceasefire agreements since mid-2011. Their strategy is the same: cooperation and development upon ceasefire agreement. There is no clear demand to surrender arms, but political cooperation and to transform political body when ceasefire agreement settled. Is the same meaning of to surrender arms. The ethnic are very conscious about surrender because under military drafted 2008 constitution, no guarantee for the ethnic rights, including equality, self-determination, and rule of law. To cease the ethnic conflict should be understand about root cause of including conflicts between Burmans and ethnic during the pre and post-Burma independence. On one-sided demands and sincerity by the military leadership in the past peace talks, and the Burma was isolated for many years by Burmese dictator and ignored international pressure. The Burmese army taking control of the ethnic territory and launched massive military offensives for many decades. The forced relocation plan aimed at bringing the population under military control and eliminating the ethnic resistance. At least 3,019 villages all over ethnic area were destroyed by the Burmese army in the past 16 years. More than 300,000 have fled to Thailand as a refugee. There are more than 500,000 IDP in the eastern and division of the Burma bordering Thailand. Recently, United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon urged foreign countries to lift sanctions. At the same time, it was wise for him to keep pushing Burma to release its remaining political prisoners, people who were wrongly imprisoned, people especially from the ethnic background. There were 4 separate amnesties between May 2011 and mid-January 2012. The government released more than 650 of prisoners of conscience, including some high-profile activists like comedian Zagana Mingonai and many leaders of the 88 uprising. Including the Association of the Political Prisoners said, remaining 473 prisoners, including 50 Buddhist monks, 18 women, and many student activists. The United Nationality Council, which is UNFC, an umbrella group comprised of 11 leading ethnic groups, including Mon, Shan, Karen, Karenni, and Kachin people, issued a statement and demand for the political dialogue, not resource development, but must be top priority after a nationwide ceasefire, including Kachin state reaches. The Burma ethnics are calling on the international community to set stronger benchmark or step in the incremental removal of the international sanctions, following recent announcement by European Union, EU, to suspend sanctions for a year, remaining only the embargo on arms sales. As a conclusion, thank you for your time of sharing information about Burma ethnic opinion. Hope you to understand and join with us for more diplomatic pressure to cease ethnic conflicts and to restore peace and national reconciliation and genuine democratic changes in Burma. Thank you so much.